don't really have a plan today. I just am going to play. And this is my set of Me Watercolors in the Tropicals. And yeah, I'm just gonna play. I really like this set. It's really fun. It's really bright. The whole reason I bought it was because I wanted these bright pinks and bright orange and that parrot green. Really like it. So I'm just here to play and take you along with me. I'm using some Canson, my Canson Mixed Media sketchbook, and just a couple of brushes. I have a number 8 filbert and a number 4 stippler. Actually, no, I'm not going to use the stippler. I'm going to use the number 4 round. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spray up my, oops, wrong spray. I'm going to spray up my paints just to get them started. And I might just spray my book. Let's see what happens. Who knows? That's the fun of playing with watercolor when I don't have a plan. So let's go. I need a break today to do just have fun. Oh wow, look at this. This is fun. Yeah, I love the way the paints interact on the wet page. Just creating some abstract shapes and seeing what happens and how the colors interact. Yes, my paper is buckling, but that's part of it. There's some not wet paper. Getting some dry, wet on dry action here. Just love how it's just moving. The water's moving the paint, and just pick up some of this because this is a little really wet. Let's see what happens. This is a very vibrant purple. I normally don't use purple, but today I felt like trying, just adding some purple in and blending it with the blues and the pinks to see what I get. This is a really bright, like magenta color. It's called Pita. I don't know, I can't even pronounce it. Pitaya. Whatever that is. Yep. So, let's see. Make the water move down the page. There we go. Just see what happens. I'm probably going to draw over this with a pen after it dries, but I don't know. Just being very abstract about it. Not any rhyme or reason, which is sometimes hard for me. I always am thinking of what the final piece is going to look like, and when I work like this, it's not easy. sometimes. So this is about me trying to let go and be more spontaneous and abstract and just play to get out of my head sometimes. Because I really, and you never know, sometimes the outcome looks great, sometimes it doesn't. But you know what? It's not about making something this isn't about making art to sell. This is about making art to have fun. To be spontaneous and loose and let your mind wander. So that's what I'm going to do with this. I'm just going to let my mind wander. See what happens. But see, I like how that interacts. It might look like mud to some people, but to me, it's fun. You never know what the colors are going to turn out, because sometimes these brighter colors blend pretty interesting, and you get some interesting mixes when you mix them together. I think I'm going to turn it this way now. It's another thing when you're doing something like this is just flip the paper around. Move it. Move your book. Change it up. Make it where you see it differently. So that you're not focusing on making a shape or making something exact. You're just focusing on the play aspect of it. The whole I do like turning it a lot because it gives me another way of looking at the piece. And change how much pressure. And look at that. That's just cool to me. I don't have a black in this, so I'm gonna mix a black. I've got the blue and the purple down here. I'm gonna add a good amount of yellow to it. I almost got like a muddy green black. A little more yellow. Now I'm getting more green out of this. So let's add some pink to it. A little more of the blue. Some more brown, black. And let's just see what it looks like. It'll probably break if it hits any like water area like this, and you'll see all the different colors. But that's fine with me. I just wanted a dark, something dark. Another thing you can do is go back with the spray bottle just to blur it just a little bit more. I got a little bit close to the page, so it ends up being very much of a pool here. And let's turn that down. Oh, okay. Didn't get down that far, but that's fine. Start adding some geometric shapes in. And I want them to be watery and blend. Just a damp circle around the outside. Doesn't have to be perfect, touching it. And work in threes. Now I'm gonna go back because I didn't work in threes with my yellow square. So now I'm gonna let this dry and I'll come back with a pen. Alright. What has just been a second for you has been about 30 minutes for me. The paper is buckled, but you know, I don't really mind the paper buckling. I think it's fun, especially in this sketchbook. If I work on the back, it'll almost take out the buckles, but sometimes I don't, sometimes I do. I have 3 things that I'm going to work with other than my white jelly roll. I have a black wing, number 602, a number 207 Signo. This one is the thicker one. I also have the really fine line, the micro Signo 207, and I like it. And then this is the Uniball Vision. All of these are waterproof, so if I did want to go back over it with with water, I can. It's just, that's what I've got. I've got a number 5 and a 10 jelly roll, the Uniball Vision, and the 2 Uniball Signos, and the black wing. Alright, to start with this, I'm just going to do the same concept that I did with the watercolor and just play. I'll probably turn the page a couple of times, and yeah, just play. I have no rhyme or reason for what I do. I like to, every once in a while, follow some of the painted lines with things. Just little dashes. I like to break down what I do on a doodle based on just simple little shapes. Sometimes it is a parentheses, a dash, a line, a hyphen, a period, an X, a plus, a circle, and a square. So I do that with my brush strokes as well as my pen work when I come back in. Like these are sort of obliterated because of the water, and some, you know, I can come back in and define them. I don't have to define them all. I can skip. But, you know, it's just about playing right now. One of my pens that I really like. I really love this Signo Micro 207. I just like really fine points because I can get so much little bitty detail in, and I just like the way it looks. It's not too thick. Like say this one is thin. This is the regular 207. If you do, you can get a very light line with the original, but this one is still gonna be thicker. It's not much thicker, but it is to me. And this one is the Uniball Vision, and it's fine, but it's still thicker. So yeah, that's why I go between the two. I try to be random, but sometimes it's really hard to be random because your brain just automatically thinks in patterns. And this one dispersed. I ended up with to make 2 squares. You don't have to outline the shapes you made. Sometimes it's fun to do it, to reinforce that shape on the page. One thing I do is make sure I repeat the same pattern, the same little doodle somewhere else on the page, at least 3 times. I don't always know why I do certain designs or if I'm even going to keep it on the page when I finish. But now that I've got that one on, I've got to need to do it somewhere else. thing with doing stuff like this is sometimes knowing when to quit, when to stop, and just not keep adding things to it, because you don't want to overwork it. And the thing with working with gel pens like this is you really have to, if you don't want 2 lines as your outline, you have to go back and fill it in. See, it looks like this when I just do the original line. And I'll have to go back in and almost stipple it to get it fill in. Go over it a couple of times. I'll work back and forth. This takes a little bit of time to dry, so I always try to not mess with it. And now I pulled out my bigger 207. Alright, I actually think I'm done with this piece. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching me just not think about things. Get some, just play.